Okay. All right. So, what's up, everybody? So, if you guys are tuning in and watching this, man, I got my man right here, Alvaro. He's going to be here kind of, just a case study today about our mentorship as well as how he's been able to evolve himself as a barber and a little bit tell his story. So, hey, man, I want you to kind of introduce yourself and kind of share with them, who you are and where you're at, where you're located, and just kind of how you are as a barber.
Okay. My name is A. They call me A. My name is Alvaro, and I'm located in San Antonio, Texas. And I reached out to you just at first just to see because I was really stagnant. I was really at $25, $30 a haircut, and I was keeping up. And I was like, dang, like he has so much success. I'm trying to like feed off his brand and really like pick at it. And I mean, it turned into like a friendship, mentorship, and I mean, I feel like I've gained a lot from. I feel like most of it was just confidence. Like you gave me like a lot of confidence. Like reading these books, it's all about. It's not really about cutting hair. Like through the mentorship, like you don't really teach me how to cut hair, like, but more like about like the mind, like the mindset.
Absolutely. So one of the things that I want to expose to everybody today in this little case study, right, is A hit it on the nail about that. A lot of my mentorship, a lot of the teachings that I give is not based upon clippers and social media and just what to get more clientele, but in as a result we get that, right? But the intention is actually to shift your mindset internally and to see what's really blocking you from achieving those haircuts, those that haircut price or that clientele, and how we can achieve that, right? So one of the things that I want to share with everybody today is fourth and foremost is just a little bit about what I kind of teach in my programs about the mindset. And one of the things that I've shared with Alvaro is that when you're looking at, changing and shifting your mindset, it's all about understanding that innately we are who we are today, but who we want to become, right? We need to become somebody in order to achieve this. You can ask anybody who's a millionaire, who's successful, and they're going to tell you that in order to really achieve success, you need to be able to become somebody that you've never seen before. You need to become somebody that you're not naturally, supposed to be. So, for example, if some people have the lack of confidence to speak, right? But being successful requires you to have the confidence to speak. You have to learn how to speak. If you're the type of person who, like, for example, when I first started out being a barber, was my challenging part was I didn't have the confidence to talk to people. So every single time I got a new client on board, it was like nerve wracking to have like small talk and to hold the conversation with them, right? Versus now, I'm very confident in the way I speak. Now I can articulate myself and I can, really get in and be an outgoing person. Okay. So some of the things that I'm going to share with you guys today are concepts that, A has been able to adopt, and as well as, he's been able to see these in results to his success. So, hey, I want you to kind of share just a little bit, prior to mentorship, where you felt like some of those, where you felt like you were at with your pricing and your cuts, as well as just kind of like where your confidence was, where some of your mindset things were at the time before mentorship.
Before I met you, I was at a shop and I was charging. I think I started at $25. I was at $25, and then when I actually reached out to you, I had been at 30. I was at 30 and 40, and I felt like I was looking at barbering a different way. It was more like, boom, get them in, get them out. Boom, getting as many in and as many out, and I felt like that was like what I was doing wrong. Like it was like I was rushing. I was rushing cuts. I was trying to fit in people. And that's where I was at.
Yeah. And so one of the first things I remember sharing with A is that whatever you're focused on, and whatever you put your 2 feet in, right, in that box, whatever you put in that box becomes your reality, right? So when we and I've shared this a lot of times, that a lot of barbers in today's era go into the barber shop and they go and say, hey man, my Mondays and Tuesdays are always slow, right? They're like, the beginning of the week for me, it's always slow. And I've shared with a lot of barbers that the thing is with that mindset is that shapes your reality. If you go into the barbershop and you're thinking that your Mondays and Tuesdays are always slow, that's what they'll always be. So when I was, talking with A about this mentorship and this mindset, is that I wanted him to now think about where he wanted to be. I said, take all the clippers and all the stuff back, and I said, think about where you want to be, and then let's backtrack, and then think about right now, what are the things that are blocking you, right? So sometimes when people go into the barbershop, the first thing that they go they're starting to work and they're starting to build their clientele is there's two things I see a lot of all the time, is that barbers who want to build clientele, they'll go in for, let's say in the morning they have that one client. That next 2 or 3 hours that they don't have a client, what do they end up doing? They end up leaving the shop and saying, oh, I'm going to come back later. And what that does, and it's again, it's like speaking things into existence and showing what you want, right? So everything is a reflection of your actions, of your intentions, right? So if your intentions is that I'm gonna stay in this barbershop until somebody's there so I can be of service to them, right? Or you're gonna intentionally say, oh, I'm just gonna come back, I'm gonna go get some food and I'm gonna come back 3-4 hours later. Those are all intentions. And so one of the things that I did when I first started cutting hair was that when I was in the barbershop is I had, whenever I had free time, I remember there was like a Wednesday and a Thursday that I had like 0 clients. And what I did is I went and grabbed my book, I posted up in the chair, and I was just reading the whole time, because I knew that I had to have the intention. I had to have my feet stuck to the ground and within that box that I wanted to accumulate, right? I wanted to have clients in my chair. I needed to stay intentionally in that chair. Okay. And then another thing that, I've shared with Alvaro is that when you want clients, right, and you want to charge more, and he's going to kind of explain about this, about what he was able to do. But what I told him is I said, the one thing that you can do to get more clients and to raise your prices is to give more value. I said, if you want to be able to charge more and you want to be able to gain more clients, before you do anything, before you try to raise your prices, I told him, I said, for 2 to 3 weeks, I want you just to spend more attention to detail, and I want you to give more value to your existing customers. When you have a client in the chair, I want you to give them an extra 10 to 15 minutes. When you have somebody who's a repeat customer, I want you to focus on giving them the best service that you could possibly give them. I want you to be more detailed on their haircut. I want you to go in there and I want you to actually be attentive about their wants and needs and desires as far as a client, right? And that was what, 3 weeks before you even raised your prices?
Yeah. Yeah, about 3 weeks.
3 weeks, and tell me and walk them through that process about how you were able to give them more value, and as well as just kind of how that translated so easily for you when you started to raise your prices.
I basically, once you told me that, like as soon as you told me that, I started. I did the same price, but I actually I opened up my bookings. It was from 30 minutes. I went from an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like in that hour I could really perfect the cut. And I mean, there's a difference between a $30 haircut and a 30-minute haircut and an hour haircut.
Yep.
Like, you're gonna be able to pay attention more to detail the haircut. And it's not going to be a rush haircut. I feel like if you rush a haircut, you could either bring it up a little higher or something. Mm-hmm. But if you have an hour, I feel like you could pretty much do a good haircut in an hour.
Absolutely.
And I paid attention to detail, and I saw it off the bat. People were tipping me more, and I hadn't even raised my prices yet,
Yep.
It was just a flow. Like, people started seeing, like, dang, like, the haircut's a lot cleaner, like,
Yep.
I started getting more compliments on the haircuts that I was doing.
And so what did you end up raising your prices after that 3 weeks?
After 3 weeks, I did. I think it was 40 and 50.
Yep.
40 and
And
50.
and just talk about too, like, I mean, how long did it take you to start seeing like a fuller schedule too, like as far as with those $40 to $50 clients from that point that we kind of started with our mentorship?
I feel like it was right off the bat. I feel like I lost some clients, but I lost the ones like the picky ones, the
Right.
ones that not the ones that were like the clients I didn't want, like the
Yep.
clients that were late, the clients that wanted extra stuff and didn't want to tip,
Yep.
But like I even gained some clients. Like I feel like people respect me now as my time. My
Mm-hmm.
time's more valuable.
Yep. Absolutely. And so what does your schedule like look like now as compared to like back then as far as like the numbers, like, because you've shared with me like a couple of weeks that were just like packed out, full out. What was,
Yeah.
can you give them kind of like an idea of what those numbers were?
Well, right now I'm pretty much getting booked. I don't work Sundays and Mondays, so I get booked Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, pretty much every day. Like
Yep.
if I have a slow day, it's probably like on Tuesdays, and even at that, I'll fit in 5, 6 people.
Mm-hmm.
And back then, I used to work from 9 to 9 and get 5, 6 people.
Yep.
So I feel like there's a huge increase right now. Like Friday, Saturdays, they're already booked. Like it's like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, like for sure, I'm doing 10 cuts. Like
Yep.
for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so one of the things that I wanted to share with them too was that, one of the key things that I've talked about, this value thing, right, is that before you get, right, you should always give. And it's the concept that I'm trying to teach new barbers is that if you go into this as the person to give value and you give an extreme amount of value and you only all you need to do is just take a little bit. So if you go in thinking that, I'm gonna give $100 worth of value and $100 worth of service, when you charge $40 to $50 a haircut, it's actually a no-brainer for clients because they see that one, and I told them too, I said, be more attentive to being on time, to setting your schedule, to being where you're not 30, 40 minutes late, but now you have that extra time to still give to your existing clients and to fit in that next person into your schedule. So it's all about being able to give an extreme amount of service, experience, haircut, attention in detail, as well as being personable with them, being more about attentive towards building rapport with them and having conversations with them that bring the overall experience up, right? And when you do that, then you can justify why you raise your prices and why you get into that. And so, kind of a talk about too, just kind of like how you've got into this barber battle. Congrats on winning the barber battle. Talk about just kind of how your confidence too, like, has come now to now doing these barber battles and winning. And seeing
Yeah.
and visualizing yourself, and I tell you all the time about the visualization of what you want. Talk about that visualization, talk about that confidence, in this barber battle that just you just won.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like back then I wouldn't even try to do it. I wouldn't even like think of it. But that barber battle, it just came about let's say 2 weeks ago, 2 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Someone had hit me up and said, "Hey, there's gonna be a barber battle here in San Antonio. Do you want to be one of the guys battling, like one of the contestants?" And I was like, "Let me think about it." And I actually really like. I was like, "Nah, let me call him back and tell him, yeah, like I'm all for it." And I felt like with what you had told me to read and what like I feel like it all built up to like this moment. Like it was just like, dang, like just believe in me and like just prove them. Like I do this every day. Like
Yeah,
I could every day. It's just another day.
absolutely, absolutely. And I want to say, what category did you compete in?
It was basically a overall like
Overall
just
cut.
overall like you could do whatever you want.
Okay, great, great. So, and we're gonna put the whole the image and everything like that on here so people can see it too. But yeah, so I've shared with a lot of different things, even from personal life to business to being able to how to carry himself. And one of the biggest things that I've seen a shift now is not only just the the person that you are, but also too in the ability to now say the right things into existence, and also too like you're able to now be more attentive and aware when you are being, when you self sabotage, when you have fear, when you have doubt. Now I can tell that you're more aware and intentional with what you're doing as far as that your mindset and the power of your tongue. Talk a little bit about like that type of like overcoming and just like what has transformed for you now that you're seeing so many things going the right way for you.
Yeah, I mean, like I remember once you had a like throughout the mentorship, I actually wrote it down somewhere, and I had wrote down because you had talked about like speaking stuff to existence and actually not speaking stuff like the bad stuff,
Yep.
like oh I'm never gonna do this. Like I stopped saying that. Like I started saying like a lot of like positive stuff. Like I started really watching what I was saying because sometimes like I mean the world's pretty toxic. Like
Mm-hmm.
and then I also started like I cut off a lot of people, like a lot of my friends, close friends, like that used to party a lot, you know. Started like hanging out with people that had like the drive, like just overall like my circle right now. I feel like it's really like positive and goal driven, and I feel like that's also one of the things that could drive a barber down and like just be like a regular barber. Because I know a lot of barbers out here in San Antonio that cut really good, and they're not at the level or at the level that I'm at. You know, they just
Absolutely.
they're just stuck.
And that is the important piece towards the things I wanted to talk about today is ultimately you become the master of your fate, you become the captain of your destiny, you become whatever you want to become and accomplish in this life when you become um, very in control and a master and a discipline of your words, of your tongue, of the things that you manifest, as well as the people that you bring around. We talked, about, girlfriends, the relationships, the things that you are able to, move. And if you don't understand these things, they will affect you. They will drown you. They will drain you. They will hold you back, right? And so now that you're no longer holding yourself back and you're now propelling yourself, now you're able to actually see clearly and achieve what you want to achieve in life. And this is all, direct from the type of things that we've been able to discuss. So now, kind of share with us, what your next steps are. Where do you see yourself in the next year? Like, kind of just what is some of your goals and what you're moving for next?
For my goals for next year, I feel like by January, I want to be working in my own studio.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working on a studio here in San Antonio, and I'm really just I'm actually gonna put my full focus on that. I've been talking with some people about it for about the past 2 weeks, and I feel like that's the move. Like really, just go on a studio and really perfect my craft. And I mean, just like quality haircuts, you know.
Absolutely. And so, moving forward, for us is, again, is as you are growing and growing and growing and growing into the person that you want to become, like I've always shared with you, is just keep visualizing that and keep manifesting those things. This is like I call it like eating right. You know what I mean? Is that if you do this for how long you've been doing it, it's something that you have to continue and continue and continue and continue. And that's something that we like to share with everybody, is that as you develop these good habits and this new way of thinking, is to keep it going and to keep propelling yourself to the next step, which is all going to be something that you achieve. So I'm really proud of you for everything that you've been able to accomplish. I've really seen a lot of your growth And it's very, very, encouraging for me as well, because it's something that I want to see my students that I mentor to be successful and to see the results. So seeing you do that is something that I wanted to share with everybody. And it's something that I wanted to be able to expose to barbers out there, that if they actually adopt these habits and these principles and these new mindsets, they'll be able to achieve whatever they want, regardless of what clippers and clients and what shops they're in, what city they're in, no matter their age, no matter their gender, no matter how much skills they first started off with. It doesn't matter. That anybody can achieve whatever they want and accomplish this if they just adopt these principles and these habits. So do you have any, maybe let's say, further words for the people that are out there that are listening, that maybe could help them and inspire them to take on some of these habits and these principles?
I would just say, just believe. Like, I feel
Mm-hmm.
like that's one of the hardest parts, is like to believe you're actually a good barber, because anyone could cut hair.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but what sets you apart? What sets you different? And I feel like it's just really like I've been struggling right now, like for the past year and a half, about my weight, and I've actually like spoken to existence, and I've been working on it.
Mm-hmm.
And apart from barbering, I feel like that's one of the things that's actually been like slowly, gradually, like working on it. And hold on, give me a second.
Yeah, no
Give me a
problem.
second. Sorry, it was my roommate. But
No problem.
yeah, I've been working on it, and I waited when I was like super like I was in a relationship, I was depressed, I was like really eating every day. I was um I was weighing 365 pounds,
Mm-hmm.
and right now today I actually weighed myself this morning, and I weighed 317.
That's
That's
what's
in
up, man.
2 months and a half.
That's
So I've
what's
been
up.
working on that, but I've really been like just saying like, bro, you gotta lose weight. Like they ain't
Mm-hmm.
know, they ain't no,
Absolutely.
don't
and
stop
and
it.
that and that's the and that's what I'm really wanting to share with everybody, is that my mentorship and the things that I'm teaching and the concepts that we're trying to instill into people, it's universal. Like, it's not, once you can understand these concepts, you'll start to apply them in every aspect of your life, not just in your career, not just with your health, but in everything, financially, physically, with your family, with your relationships, with with your kids, whatever you have, to work on in your life. You're able to now take away those blockages and those things that are sabotaging your growth and your progress, but instead put in those affirmations, put in those habits, put in those principles that are now going to help you actually get to those goals that you want to get to. So one of the things that I just wanted to share with you guys is all these principles, putting together all these things that can really help you. And I look forward to anybody out there that would like to join my mentorship. I'll put in some information down below, and as well as send out some emails, and as well as put this in the descriptions below. But you guys can be able to join my program. I do obviously charge for this mentorship, but we can hop on the call and do a free strategy call to kind of expose to you guys what I am actually teaching in these programs and how they can help you. But you can just see it from, just like the impact that it's had and how much, it's been able to propel him in his career. And you can just, say A2 is just like, if you look at the comparison to what you paid for the program towards like the results, talk about how much, like, that's like a exponential amount of growth compared to the initial investment that you made.
Yeah, I feel like right now, like back then, I was making like I don't know, I was making about 1,200, 1,500 on a good week.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, like I'll make that easy, like on a slow week,
Yeah.
like on a steady week, I'll make 1,500 easy. And it's like and I have time to do whatever I want. I mean, 1,500. I'm still working on it,
Absolutely.
but I feel like 1,500 and only 4 days a week, and then having the rest days off, like
And you're able to charge what you want and not have to, overexert yourself with a bunch of clients. Like now you're able to actually spend more quality time in those other areas of your life, like you said, losing weight. You're also able to enjoy some of this. You're able to actually now like spend time with your family, friends, do other things. And then also too, you obviously have, just like what I tell you, working on your business and not just in your business. Now you're able to figure out how to keep expanding and not get drowned by just cutting a bunch of clients every single day for $25. You're now able to kind of like maximize your potential in your chair.
definitely. Yeah, I feel like that was one of like the things that opened up my eyes. It was like, think I'm cutting hair to like live a life of a barber,
Yep.
Like I want to like people say like, oh, the life of a barber is being at the barbershop, but I don't know. I feel like you also like, as the better you get, like you need more free time. Like you need to enjoy like the hard work,
Absolutely.
Like that's really crucial. That's not about being at the barbershop.
So, guys, I appreciate you guys for being able to, sit through this and watch, me and Alvaro talk a little bit about just kind of like our principles, the things that we've instilled, and how these things can obviously affect your overall life, not just your career. I want to be able to share all these things with you guys so that one, you guys can see the advantages of this mentorship, as well as see the advantages that if you guys adopt the mindset that you guys need to get rid of those blockages and develop the self-confidence and get rid of the worry, as well as have these affirmations and the manifestation laws to use in your life, you're going to see an exponential amount of growth, not just in your career but also in your personal life, your relationships, and just your overall attitude towards life, as well as your peace and happiness. So these are all things that we've talked about today that are going to be able to, really see that exponential growth. I want Alvaro to kind of share with you guys just, his closing statement and just kind of like, what he encourages you guys to do, and just something that you can leave them with, as far as the mentorship and just into just the overall mindset that you've been able to transfer to now.
I just say hit him up on Instagram and do a call and just really talk to him and let him know where you're at. And I mean, I'd say if I could get some, like, the most valuable thing about this is just believe in yourself, and it's really just about you and your mindset. Like that's the most powerful thing, and it's really powerful. Like it's crazy how it works.
Yeah. And it's crazy too, because it's a lot of I always say is that it's less work to do it this way than it is just to like hammer out a bunch of busy work and trying your hardest to be successful. Because when you just try and you don't shift your mindset, it's upsetting and it's discouraging because you never get anywhere. But as soon as you just adopt these mindsets and you start working differently and you start finding out these ways to actually, attain the success you want, it's way more fulfilling and it's actually less work than you actually really thought about. Like for most part, when you're trying to force your success and you're trying to be successful, you're trying to, it never happens. It never works. But as soon as you just shift that internal shift up here, everything starts to unlock for you, and you almost like feel this sense of relief and this like no more have that burden anymore, and you're actually able to just clearly have like a focus, a goal in mind, and as well as you get to enjoy the process more and be more optimistic and not so cynical of circumstance and what everything else is going on in the world. So I appreciate everybody for staying tuned for this video. I look forward to being able to impact as many barbers as I can. One of my missions is to be able to shift the barber's mindset so that they can see how they can become not just a great barber, but also a successful individual, and have this self-education and become aware of the things that are blocking them and holding them back in life. So, me and A are done with our video, and we like to just, share positive vibes with you. But you have anything last words